Hi, third graders. Welcome to lesson 19.1, all about area. So when we're talking about area, we're talking about the amount of surface covered on a shape. And we measure area in what is called square units. So the reason we call them square units is because the actual unit, such as centimeter, inch, foot, yard, that kind of thing, that's going to change based on what it is that you're measuring. So if you're measuring something pretty small, like the surface of your desk in the classroom, we could measure that in maybe like square inches or maybe even square feet because our desks are kind of big. But if we were measuring something like our classroom, we would want to measure that in maybe like square yards or square meters. Remember, a yard is 3 feet, and we know how big a meter is. Remember, we did a lot of measuring with our meter sticks in the classroom. So the unit's going to change based on what it is that you're measuring. So smaller things you would measure with a different unit than something that's really big, like a room or your yard or something like that. So we just say square units just so we remember that that's how we measure area. And let's look at an example so you can kind of get an idea what I mean when I say square units. So let's look at this first figure, figure A. Now we can see that this figure is in the shape of a square and it's made up of 4 little squares. So we would say that the area of this shape, figure A, would be 4 square units. Now, we would say 4 square units because they didn't tell us specifically that each one of these squares was a centimeter or an inch or something like that. So for this case, we're just going to say that it's 4 square units. All that means is it's made up, the surface of this shape is made up of 4 squares that are all the same size. Okay, so let's look at figure B. Now this one is a little bit of a different shape, right? And let's count the area of this shape. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this shape is made up of 5 squares total. So it has an area of 5 square units. Okay, let's look at shape C. This one looks a little bigger. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that means the area of shape C is 6 square units. Okay, let's look at a few more examples. So we've got 3 shapes here, A, B, and C. Number 1 says, how many square tiles make each figure? So all we need to do is count how many squares are making up each shape. So A is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So figure A is made up of 9 square units. B is 2, 4, 6, 8, so 8 square units. And C is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so it looks like A and C are both made up of 9 square units. So they are different shapes, but they have the same area. Okay. And then we already did this one really, number 2. Each tile is 1 square unit. What is the area of each figure? So basically just by counting those squares inside each shape, we were able to figure out the area. Which figure has the smallest area? That would be shape B or figure B because that one was only 8 square units and the other 2 were 9 square units, right? So for number 4, it would just be A and C because they both have an area of 9 square units. So they have the same area. Okay, so down here at the bottom, it says 1 square is 1 square unit, of course. And then we also have some half squares here. So if we have some half squares, that means we would need to put 2 of them together to make a square. Okay, so looking at this example, we have 2 of those red ones. We know that those are each a half a square, so we would put those together to make 1 square. So the area of this shape would be 1, 2, 3, 4 square units. Okay, and then looking at this one, it looks like this one has an area of 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we've got 2 of those little half squares, so that would be one more. So 4 plus 1 would be 5. So the area of figure B would be 5 square units. Okay, guys, and let's just do our practice page for this lesson together. So we're going to find the area of these first 2 shapes. So remember, to find the area of a shape, all that means is the surface area. So that means how big is the surface of the shape. And we can actually just count the squares. In this case, we have 1, 2, 3 going down. Remember that? It's 3 rows. Kind of looks like an array, doesn't it, from when we did multiplication. So we have, this side has 3, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 going across. So we know that would be 3 times 4, right? Which is 12. Let's count it and make sure. 3, 6, 9, 12, or we could count 4, 8, 12. So it is 12 square units. Okay, and then this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then remember, there's 2 half squares, so that's 1 more. So this one has an area of 7 square units. Okay, says which figure has the smaller area? So obviously 7 is smaller than 12, so that would be figure B. And then number 4, which one has the larger area, would of course be figure A. Okay, let's see. And then we're going to find the area of these shapes down here. So this one, we just have to count our squares to find area. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 square units for this one. This one has some half shapes or half squares here, so let's be careful when we count it. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then these 2 make 5, and these 2 make 6. So that one has an area of 6 square units. Okay, this one has some half squares as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then these 2 make 8, and these 2 make 9. So this shape has an area of 9 square units. And then number 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and those 2 little ones on the side make 6. So that would be 6 square units. Which figure has the smallest area? So that would be out of these 4 figures they're asking us. So that would of course be figure A, because that one is only 5 square units, and the rest are, well, 2 of them are 6, and the other one is 9. So then, of course, oh, okay. The one with the largest area would be figure C, because that one has 9. So, and then which 2 have the same? We can see that it would be figure B and figure D that have the same area. Okay, and then number 12, which 2 figures have the same area? So let's count them real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it looks like it would be A and C. So let's quickly write those. So A and C. Okay. And then number 13 says, you want figures A, B, and C to have the same area. Explain 2 ways to do this. So the first way we could do this would be, we could add 1 square to figure B, right? If we added 1 square to figure B, then it would also have an area of 6 square units, like the other 2 shapes. Another thing we could do, we could take 1 square each from figures A and C, right? If we took away 1 square here and 1 of these squares, then A and C would also have an area of 5 square units, just like figure B. Okay, we're going to do one more page, and I love this page because it shows us how we can use arrays to find area. So if we have a shape that's like this, and we know how many squares are on the side and how many squares are on the top, then we can easily multiply to find the area of the shape. So in this case, we know there are 2 rows, right? That's 1, 2 rows, and there are 3 squares in each row. So 2 rows, 3 squares in each row. Our multiplication sentence, just like when we did arrays, would be 2 times 3 equals 6. That means the area of this shape would be 6 square units. They forgot to write square units, but we always want to make sure we do that when we're talking about area. And on Monday, or Tuesday actually, or the next time we do a lesson, I'll show you how to actually write it when you write area. So this one was an area of 6 square units. This one, well, okay, so this shape, we can see it has 1, 2, 3 rows, and then there are 3 squares in each row. So we know 3 times 3 times 3 equals 9, of course. So I don't know what I did there. So the area of that shape would be 9 square units. I'm just going to write SQ, and then, okay, so that was 9 square units. All right, next one has 2 rows, 1, 2, and then there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in each row. So our multiplication sentence would be 2 times 5, and we know 2 times 5 is 10, of course. So that means that that rectangle has an area of 10 square units. Okay, and then the next shape has 1, 2, 3 rows, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4 in each row. So this one has 3 rows, 4 in each row. That means our multiplication sentence would be, okay, why are you not working? Okay, it would be 3 times 4, which is 12. So that means it has an area of 12 square units. Oops. Alrighty, and then our last shape here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows, and 4 in each row. That means 5 and 4. So our multiplication sentence would be, oh, it did that to me again. Come on now. 4, so it would be 5 times 4, which we know. 5 times 4 is 20. So that means it has an area of 20 square units. Okay, we will look at some more area, and I will show you how to actually write that when you're measuring something in our next lesson. Okay, I hope you enjoyed learning about area today, and I'll see you soon. Bye.